Right, then in this video, I'm going to be talking about different coloured light districts. This is the idea. Where's lights of a certain colour in an area, it means a certain thing. Now, the most well-known example of this is the red light district. I'm not going to explain what this means because I think everyone already knows that. It's disgusting, it's not appropriate, I don't agree with it. But I want to look into, are there any other coloured lights being put up for completely different, unrelated meanings? Well, let's take a look. Now, all of these uses of the term light district are all kind of jokes based on the original red light district, but there are some interesting meanings of having certain coloured lights in an area. For example, there is the green light district. Or at least that's what I call it. Because in the Netherlands, trespassing is illegal. Actually, quite a lot of Europe is illegal, but it depends on the country. But a lot of places now where they've put up CCTV now have green lights. And I find that very bizarre. Like, what does a green light mean? Well, in the UK, it doesn't mean anything, so we don't have that. But in Europe, people are now associating a green light with you are being watched. It means if you enter into this area, you're trespassing and there's cameras that see you. Green light for Valwatch. Got a vintage building, very old, and they put a skyscraper on top. It's literally in the courtyard of this vintage old sort of town hall post building. You've got one tower. Then over here, you've got, oh, what's this, a sensor? Wait a minute, shall I trigger it? What's we got? Oh, I saw it flash. What was it flash? Was it like a... Should I just take a picture? Maybe it was infrared that just came on there. Just take a picture of me. I see. Then it sends it off to security. And then, if it sees a person, it then dispatches the actual security guard. Now, I do think the Netherlands is really messed up on their laws because cannabis is legal, prostitution is legal, but trespassing illegal. Despite the fact trespassing is not harmful, unlike the other two things I just mentioned. Also, camping is illegal. You can't sleep in the woods, and also you can't even sleep in your own car. So what are you meant to do if you've got no money and you need to sleep? Like, Netherlands is really messed up because it's both very authoritarian like that, but at the same time, supposedly liberal in other inappropriate subjects. I don't understand the Netherlands. But anyway, with the colour green for green light district, there is actually a second meaning to it, which is also related to the Netherlands. The green light district is where you can get drugs. It means it's a drug legal area. Taking drugs is allowed here, which is one of the things that Netherlands also does. Cannabis everywhere. I disagree with it because even though people say cannabis is a very minor drug compared to the others, I've never taken it myself and I never plan to. Well, when I've seen other people take it, I've noticed it destroys people's ambitions. So before someone takes cannabis, often they have loads of things they want to do. They're really inspired to go out and, within what I like doing, like go out on URBEX, but it could be anything, go out and do something energetic. Then people take cannabis and suddenly they lose all that ambition and they just want to sit there doing nothing. I don't think it's right that people stop doing stuff because the drug makes them so happy they don't feel they need to go out and create their own entertainment. Also, there's other negatives of cannabis, such as I've seen multiple times people getting psychosis and paranoia from taking it, and that can lead to major problems. Also, it can be a gateway to harder drugs. So people start on cannabis, then they move up to something harder like cocaine, ketamine, or sometimes they move up to something even harder than that. And that takes me on to my next subject. And that is, with the subject of heroin and injected drugs, there is also the opposite of a green light district, which is the blue light district, also known as the violet light district. This is where they put up blue or violet lights to stop people injecting themselves because you can't see your veins when there's this certain coloured light about. So it's literally an anti-drug light. Blue light. Can we see my veins in the blue light? It does pretty well actually, stopping you seeing your veins. Yeah, it works pretty well. Also, the term blue light district has a second meaning, and that is, it means there's lots of police about. Because of the fact the police have blue lights, and also police stations traditionally used to have blue lights, so if you call somewhere a blue light district, you could be saying there's lots of police surveillance in this area. Now, going on to other colours, there's also some terms which are just sarcastic or joke terms, like a yellow light district means a place where everyone goes very slowly. Usually old people just live in their little house, rarely leave their house apart from to go to the shops. If they do get in their car, they're usually going a very short journey and they drive really slow. It's like a slow, sleepy area where nothing happens. So in other words, there's no green lights in this place everyone is going too slow to need them. Now, as another variant on the term, which is the amber light district. Now, back when I was a child, yellow traffic lights were actually known as amber traffic lights. And it's interesting that the term amber as a colour has kind of fallen out of general use in the modern day. Now, an amber light sort of implies like a yellow light, meaning sort of caution. It's often used on the railways. There's an amber light up ahead for caution. Go slow, there might be a hazard. And that kind of sort of like implies like you're in the middle of nowhere. It's very sort of spooky. Also, it can mean secret areas. Government bunkers, such as the NATO bunker, which I trespassed in, which had amber lights. Very atmospheric. I was literally trespassing in a NATO bunker in a military base, and all the lights are this orange colour. It was creepy. So, another term that's come about relatively recently is an orange light district, meaning orange lampposts, sodium. And this refers to how sodium lights are being phased out and replaced with LEDs. And when there's certain areas about where all the lights are still sodium, it has that sort of old 70s feel to it, like something that won't be around for much longer. And it's more like an enthusiast in-joke that these areas are now referred to as orange light districts. Now, it's worth noting that these streetlights were not intentionally orange, so in that sense it can't really be counted as an orange light district, because all the councils wanted was the most amount of light for the least amount of watts, and sodium was the best answer to this, meaning everywhere had orange lights. But in the modern day, when they've replaced these lights with LED, a few places have intentionally put up orange LED lights, because some people liked the colour and didn't want the colour to be changed to white LEDs. For example, this street in Lanzarote. So it seems that Lanzarote's had a lot of its lampposts replaced, and guess what they replaced it with? They replaced the old sodium lamppost with a fake sodium LED. So you look in the street, those are some actual sodium lampposts. That's what actual sodium looks like. The fake sodium LED is even more orange than the actual sodium. And this lamppost actually has orange LEDs in it. So this is intentional, meaning that this really is an orange light district. So with that said, shouldn't there also be a purple light district? Because in my area, back when I was a child, there's lots of purple lampposts. These were concrete lampposts with a 360-degree surround light at the top, and these were purple because they had a mercury bulb. But a weird thing is, all the pictures online of mercury lights all show them with green bulbs. I don't know if that's just because film cameras shot the light as being green when to your eyes it's purple, or maybe they had some sort of filter in my area to make the lights sort of more purpley colour because it looked nicer. I really don't know. But sadly, all of these lights were replaced a long time ago. And that leads me on to the next colour. So, for something a bit different, what about if there was such a thing as a black light district? But what's a black light? Well, there's an American term, black light, which actually means UV light, and some nightclubs use UV lights but then have UV reflective paint, sort of like create an effect. Or another possible use of the term, what about areas where there's astronomy, where there's telescopes looking into space? These areas have to have reduced street lighting to stop light pollution so the telescope can work. Maybe those could be a black light district. I'm not sure about that one. But what about the exact opposite of that? The white light district. Now, when councils first installed LED lampposts, people often thought it was a very sort of harsh, cold white light compared to the lights they were used to. And white light district's not really a term that's used, but occasionally someone might make a sarcastic comment like, what's this awful cold white light? Is it the white light district or something? And finally, the last light district we're going to be taking a look at in this video is the neon light district, which is something you get in Hong Kong and a few other areas. I think these look really nice. There's loads of neon lights everywhere. Now, this is capitalism in the sense that all these neon lights are advertising something, which is usually something I don't like. But neon light districts is an exception to that, because even though it's advertising something, it's done creative, unlike a typical advert, which is capitalist crap. But in these districts, the advertisers have to do something interesting by actually creating neon lights. They usually do it in a creative way, which both advertises their business, but at the same time, it just makes the place look really nice. All the streets are sort of glowing with lights everywhere. It just looks fantastic. There should be more neon light districts. It's a shame that there's not really so much of them nowadays. But in Hong Kong, there's now less of them. Piccadilly Circus used to be a neon light district, but now it's just LED screens and neon lights are all gone. Though it is slightly a thing of the past, which is a shame. So, that is the end of the video. Was there any coloured light districts I missed out? Can you think of an example of a coloured light district? Or leave a comment in the comment section.